We would like to thank Podcorn for sponsoring this episode of TechTime Radio. Explore sponsorship opportunities and start monetizing your podcast by signing up at podcorn.com/podcasters. Let me tell you about Podcorn. Podcorn is an absolute must for any podcaster starting out. Now, when we started out TechTime Radio, we started out in a back office with a couple of mics. We expanded to a studio, and then now, as you can see, we're on the radio and have distribution into other markets. Having the ability to have Podcorn at the start of our podcast would have been a dream come true. Guess what? With Podcorn, you now have the amazing opportunity for podcasts to receive sponsorship, such as host reads, interview segments, and topical discussions. With Podcorn, there's no middleman. Podcasters of all sizes can browse and choose opportunities right on their platform, set their own rates, and collaborate with brands directly without exclusivities. You never give up the rights of your podcast in Podcorn, and they're here to support you everywhere possible. Visit podcorn.com. Again, that's podcorn.com. Podcorn is a true success for those starting their podcast dreams. Hey, Mike, are you looking for something special coming on up here on February 14th?
What is that, Valentine's Day?
It's Valentine's Day. That is correct. Now's the perfect time then to get historic mail. Historic mail is the perfect gift to give away for that special holiday.
I always want to give the gift of history.
All right. Well, guess what? You can journey through the annals of time with curated letters from George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Edison, and more, delivered by mail to your mailbox each and every week.
That sounds awesome.
Yes, guess what? Give the gift of historical letters to loved ones. Historical gift packs are a journey through history's most significant moments, from the formation letters of the founding fathers at the birth of the United States to letters that changed the course of World War II. At historicmail.com, you can visit historicmail, MAIL.com. This is the perfect gift for a history buff delivered right to their doorstep.
Who can I get a letter from?
You get a letter from many different historical individuals, including Henry Ford, George Washington, and journeys throughout all of our great American history. You can get yourself a regular priced subscription for 10 weeks, or 10 letters being sent out to you for the regular price of $59.99. Make sure to use promo code TechTime for 10% off.
What kind of letters are they?
These letters are actual reproductions of the real letters or messages that are written by historical figures. Use promo code TechTime for 10% off. Make sure to visit historicmail.com to learn more information.
Broadcasting across the nation from the East Coast to the West, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side, with leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Welcome to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm, the show that makes you go, Technology News of the Week, the show for the common everyday person, broadcasting across the nation with insightful segments on subjects weeks ahead of the mainstream media. We welcome our 35 million radio audience to an hour of insightful technology with a little whiskey on the side. I'm Nathan Mumm. Welcome to our show. We live stream during our show on 4 of the most popular platforms, including YouTube, Twitch.tv, Twitter, and Facebook. We encourage you to watch us live or to visit us at techtimeradio.com or even tweet us at #TechTimeRadio during the show, and we'll do our best to respond to all your tweets. I'm a technologist with over 30 years of expertise working from companies like Microsoft and Vulcan Inc., a keynote speaker on technology subjects from security to blockchain and everything in between. My co-host here, Mike Corday, is an award-winning author, originally from Arizona. He's a human behavior expert living in the Seattle area, with a master's degree in forensic psychology with 20-plus year career helping others understand human behavior so they can make better decisions. Mike keeps me from geeking out while providing an insight into human behavior and how it interacts with technology. We are two friends that come from different backgrounds but bring the best technology show possible every week for our family, friends, and fans to enjoy. All right. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
All right. Are you excited?
I'm always excited.
You're always excited.
Can't
All right.
tell.
That's right. Okay, let's get the show started now.
Now on today's show.
Today on the show, the history of web browsers and why Brave is the new browser of choice for your host, truly.
What?
Right? We talked about Brave browser, right?
Yes, we did.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about that. We have Apple employees using Android phones to sneak around unionization talks.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah, well, you just before airtime here, what were you having problems with?
I was having trouble with my iPhone.
Yeah?
Because something froze on there and I couldn't get it off until...
What did you have to do?
I had to shut the whole phone off.
Yeah, you had to do a whole reboot, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you were just griping and groaning.
I never have to do that with my Android.
With your Android phone. Your Android phone just works, right?
Almost all the time.
Plug for Google Android. There you go. From Mike
That's
Gordon.
right.
All right, we're going to be talking about that. We have GPS tracking devices involved in large crime waves. We're going to be talking about this.
Which was also an Apple product,
That's what we're going to be talking. Yeah. Yeah. And if you use the Chrome browser, you better be listening up as we have an emergency update that is needed. Plus, our letter segment is back this week. We like our letter segment.
We like letters.
And then, of course, we have our This Week in Technology and Mike's Mesmerizing Moment and pick of the day, our whiskey tasting. So sit back, raise a glass, and welcome to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm.
All right. What's happening?
A new crime trend making the round.
What's going on?
Whoa, Odie's got
something happened.
Odie hit a button there a little bit ahead of time. Okay, hang on, Odie. Hang on now.
Have you been sampling the whiskey?
Yeah, I think she had a little bit of our whiskey ahead of the show. All right. Well, now it's time to start our show with our loaded question of the week, brought to you by Elderberry Boost. She gave us a one-figure salute. Get your Elderberry Boost today at elderberryboost.com. Mike and Odie, here is your loaded question. What is the most beautiful place you have ever seen?
The Caribbean.
Oh, okay. You like the Caribbean? Have you been there?
No.
What, you just seen pictures?
That's right.
Wait, what do you watch? A little Jack Sparrow, and so now all of a sudden you want to live in the Caribbean?
That's all I need in life. That's what I need is a crystal beach somewhere in the Caribbean, and I'm finished.
Are you going to be having a little Corona on the side, or what are you going to be doing on the beach?
Nothing.
You're just going to be sitting there.
I'll lay on the beach
all day long.
In a hammock.
All
day.
Okay. All right. Well, that sounds like a beautiful place.
That's right.
That you've seen in pictures. All right, Odie, we're going to you next.
Probably Aguadilla, Puerto Rico.
Wow. Have you been there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I went in high school. We went on a school trip, and I had a blast. And everywhere you go is just beautiful.
Yeah, my high school trip, I went to Wild Waves. That's all.
Yeah, that's a good place to
go. Not when you're a senior in high school.
Why not?
Yeah. Well, we won't go there. Okay, that's a different show. All right. Well, I would say my favorite place that I've ever been to is in the Pacific Northwest. It's the rainforest called the Ho Rainforest over on the peninsula. It's the convergence between whatever it is, between the islands and the sea and the water.
Most people don't know
rainforest.
That this far north we have a rainforest.
We do in the Pacific Northwest. And it was beautiful trees. It looks like something you would see out of the Lord of the Rings. So if you see not the battlefield areas of Lord of the Rings, but like the beautiful elven type of
that's
villages.
A rainforest to you?
Yeah, that's what this trees looked like. It was amazing. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, that was our loaded question again. That was brought to you by Elderberry Boost. If you want to have a boost of energy, visit elderberryboost.com. All right, Mike, as always, we have our whiskey tasting during the commercials. We'll select a whiskey, and it'll either get 0, 1, 2, or 4 thumbs up. That's what we had, 4 thumbs up once, right?
Yeah. We have had, yes.
We've had 4. That
really
was double.
Great tasting whiskey.
And I don't know if we have great tasting whiskey today, but we do have whiskey today. We have whiskey today, so we'll be excited about that. All right, and I'm sure if you listen all the way through the show, you're going to pick up some interesting facts that will make you go, Now on to our first segment, bringing the top technology stories everyone will be talking about for weeks to come within the first 5 minutes of our show.
What's happening in the world of technology? This is our top stories in the first 5 minutes.
There you go.
All right, story number 1. Apple's AirTags help you keep track of things, but concerns have risen over their misuse. All right, let's go right to the audio file that we have specifically talking about the Apple's AirTags.
A new crime trend making the rounds, and it involves people being able to track your every move.
Hey guys, a really concerning story here. A lot of videos making the rounds on social media of finding Apple AirTags nearby. Experts say people are using these devices to track you and your valuables, especially cars. For anyone that isn't familiar, AirTags are small tracking devices like the one here meant to help people find easily misplaced items like car keys or purses by using Apple's Find My app. They only cost $100 for about 4 of them, and they're about the size of a quarter. People are now hiding them in places like the underside of your wheel well or the grill of your car, someplace that isn't noticeable, and then you wouldn't think to look. They'll then allow that tracker to follow you for a few days, maybe a few hours, and then come right to your home. Crimes of opportunity are likely to appear. Back to you.
When will we ever learn from the movies?
When? So last December, Canadian law enforcement announced that AirTags were being found in luxury cars that were later stolen. So this has now moved. So in December, we talked about cars were being stolen. They were putting these tracking devices in people. Now this has gone to a whole new level just recently. All right. So now let's talk about first, the Apple AirTag is not a GPS tracking device, but it essentially uses Bluetooth technology to relay information back and forth. So sometimes people consider them tracking devices as GPS trackers. There are absolutely GPS trackers, and there's GPS trackers for about the same cost of $25. But there's also the Apple AirTags, where if I bought like 10 or 15 of these, I could go to an airport, I could put them in people's backpacks, and then I can track people. So based on the first misuse, essentially Apple came on out and said that they're working with law enforcement to help take care of the issues. But guess what? We have moved into round 2 of these tracking devices. Now what people are doing is they're putting them in cars. They're going down to airports where people will have long-term parking, going on in through, and they're tagging vehicles. Now, before that was so they could track people. They could try to hijack the cars. Now what they're doing is a long-term type of sting operation where they actually track it when it goes home in the evening at night so they can find out where your home is. They continue to track it until you're further enough away where they can actually send in cars and vans to burglarize your home, break windows, destroy everything, load stuff out so they can track your car and vehicle movement and then head out before you come back home.
Thanks, Apple.
So we are now at the port. So let me just tell you, here's a note. I have, how many of you or that are listening here have your home address programmed into your car? Do you have your home address programmed into your car?
No.
Okay, I do not either. But 80+% of people, when they get a car, they put in their home address. So when they get into their GPS navigational system, they can just say, go home. That is the worst thing to do. Let me, safety announcement, PSA 101 here. Use an address that's around your area. So if you want to go home, you can figure out normally the back 3 or 4 roads to your house, but do not put your address in your GPS tracking.
Yeah, put the Starbucks address.
Or put the Starbucks as closest to you so that you don't have
a whole lot of ways
where people break into your car, find out where you're going, write down your address, and then can track you. The biggest thing that's happening right now in these AirTags and these GPS tracking devices is that people are actually then using it to break into homes, and the home burglary rates are at an all-time high. Now, if you do have an iPhone, you can actually load an application on your iPhone 14.5 or later to make sure that you have the correct settings. So if there is a tracking device for an AirTag near you, it will beep up, and then you can actually see if someone's trying to track you. Now, if you have an Android user, you actually have a better application, which is actually called Tracker Detect, that will allow you to scan for an unknown AirTag nearby. So you don't even have to have a Google device, essentially, or you have to have a Google device. You don't have to have an Apple device, and it has a better, here goes your Google, why Google's better phones today, because you can load this application called Tracker Detect, and it will show you if there's any AirTags nearby.
So it's a little minesweeper, huh?
It is. So if you have an Android phone right now, absolutely load up Tracker Detect on your phone.
I'm going to
do that.
Tonight.
And you can scan and see if anybody's tracking you.
Yeah, I'm going to do that, see if there's anybody nearby.
But Apple says now that they are triggering AirTags that they will randomly play a chime if it's not near the location of the owner. So if you're driving and all of a sudden you hear from your grill, ting, 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 a little twinkle, twinkle, little star, or some type of little song like that, you'll know that the air tracker's going on.
While you're driving down the highway?
I don't know. I don't know why they put that, because everybody's putting these in the trunks in other places. All right. Now we need to move on to story number 2.
Hey, well, if you were trying to get on True Social this weekend, the new social app that claims to be free from political discrimination that was launched this weekend, you might have another thing coming.
What happened to it?
Well, the app actually quickly moved to the top of the App Store, taking the #1 spot in the social networking category on Monday.
Yep.
However, being first doesn't necessarily mean being the best.
Oh, okay. What
So
happened to him?
reports soon surfaced about users not being able to register and being placed on waiting lists.
Uh-huh.
In fact, one Twitter pointed out users couldn't even read what they were signing up, so that you couldn't access the terms of service.
Yep.
So
I actually tried to click on the box for the term of service.
and it gave you a 404 error.
It did. It gave a 404
and then when you
error.
and then when you went to do the other thing, it gave you a 405.
Yes, correct. So it moved up a degree, saying that the syntax was unavailable.
Right. So just trying to register for the account was a challenge, according to CNET. The outlet found that people were receiving error messages when they tried to enter their birth date, emails, phone numbers to create an account. Others received a failure to register account message. Some people were on an eternal wait list.
Yeah, I got one of those too.
Did you get one? Did you
I
get a
got
number?
couple email address. Yeah, so I was like 50,000 plus
That's
on
right.
the waiting list. But you know what it told me though?
We love you,
Yep.
and you're not just another number to us, but here's your number.
But here's your number. Here's your number, 50,200 and whatever it was. Yeah, I'm like, oh, that makes me feel so good because you love me, but I'm a number. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I get that. I get that at McDonald's.
Do you get that at McDonald's too? Your number 402?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, given the two problems mentioned above, it's no surprise that True Social reported a partial outage on its first day. And this stuff happens to everybody.
Yeah, an
When they
outage
try to
for about
roll out stuff.
how long was that outage for though? Like an outage is like
13 hours.
What? What? Of a 24-hour day? It was down how many?
It was 13 hours.
Oh, that's probably a lot of time.
So, that maybe just give it a while.
Okay.
You want to really get onto that social network.
All right. So
Because apparently the truth is out there.
the truth is out there.
Yep.
It reminds you of little X-Files.
That's what I referenced.
Okay, there you go. All right. Story number 3. Apple Store employees have been using Android phones to keep their unionization's efforts secret. Report
Boy,
says.
all kinds of secret agent stuff going on.
There is.
today.
It's just like it's all secret agent stuff. So if I work at an Apple store,
You got somebody.
I'm a Genius Bar,
you come
and,
up-
and you have somebody opening up a Google phone. Be
you have
alert. They are not working for the corporation.
Hey, do you have an Android phone?
That's right. So to avoid detection, staff explored unionizations have been held in secret meetings, communication using encrypted messaging, which is Signal, is what they're using, and sometimes used Android phones rather than iPhones to avoid any possible snooping by Apple sources. As the U.S. stores are still looking to unionize for Apple, staffers from at least 2 U.S. Apple stores were close to finalizing unionization paperwork in the National Labor Relations Board. At least 6 other U.S. stores were in the early stages of the process. The workers told the Post that wages have not kept up with the inflation. There's a lot of co-workers and friends who generally love what they're doing with Apple, but they're unable to take in consideration the inflation from year to year with their current raises. They're struggling, they're hurting, and we work for a company that has the resources to make sure you're taken care of.
Well,
there you go.
It's not a good day for Apple.
See, I guess Android. Android stock. I should go buy some right
my
now.
little diatribe about my iPhone today really kind of
hit home, didn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Mike, our time's up. We got through the top stories. If you want to learn more about this, please visit us online at techtimeradio.com and click on our episode section or blog and get even more details on these stories. Now, we're going to head out to a commercial break. And when we come on back, we have a story for you. We are going to be talking about browser wars. Well, not really browser wars, but the browsers that I have used in time and why I have a favorite browser I want to use, and I want to talk about that. Now, are you a single browser user or a double browser user? I got statistics to tell you what is the most popular when we return after this commercial break. Hey, Mike.
What?
Have you heard of elderberry?
Only in reference to a Monty Python movie.
Well, let me tell you, Elderberry Boost, again, that's elderberry-boost.com.
Elderberry Boost.
Yes, Mike, that's Elderberry Boost. You can choose organic Elderberry Boost, that 8-ounce size. It's available on sale right now at $11.99. But you're listening here right now on TechTime Radio, so you need to go to Elderberry. That's ELDERBERRY-boost.com and get some today.
Elderberry Boost.
Elderberry is an all-natural organic immune system booster and antiviral. Elderberry is known to actively fight against viruses, including colds and the flu. It also works as a natural remedy for allergies, cancer, digestion, heart disease, high cholesterol, headache, toothache, weight loss, and reduced inflammation.
It's a natural and healthy diuretic, and has many antiviral properties. While it is famous for fighting the flu, it is effective for any illness.
Elderberry Boost was created to provide a quality organic elderberry to their customers. After searching years ago for a perfect elderberry syrup, none could be found, so they essentially created their own homemade recipe.
If you would like to get 15% off your first order of Elderberry Boost, just put in the discount code TechTime at checkout.
Again, that's elderberry-boost.com.
Elderberry Boost. All right. Welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. TechTime Radio is a weekly hour technology show that talks about current technology in a simple format without having to geek out. Brought to you by Nathan Mumm and Mike Day. We just had our first whiskey tasting during the break, and now let me tell you all about what we are sipping for our pick of the day during the show. What are we sipping?
We have chosen the red-blooded American bourbon whiskey, 80 proof, $19.99. Distilled in the South, but bottled in the West. This whiskey is made from 100% American grains. Made in the traditional style enjoyed by generations. Rich notes of caramel, oak, and spice. Enjoy alone or in your favorite mixed drink.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, so a little bit more facts about this. It's produced somewhere in the United States, distilled somewhere in the South.
Somewhere.
State unknown. It's also supposed to be bottled in California.
Wants to admit it.
It's bourbon. It's a 4-year aged statement. I don't know what it was aged in. 80 proof, rich notes of caramel, oak, and spice. Are you tasting all of those?
No, I didn't. I don't know who decided that's what the taste was, but we've
tasted 89 whiskeys on our shows because this is show 89, right? Yes. So we tasted 89 whiskeys.
Well, we remember when we first started, we were tasting 3 or 4 at a time. So we're tasting well over 100 whiskeys.
We have, and so our worst whiskey that we've had that we talk about quite a bit on the time is what? Canadian Mist. Is this worse than Canadian Mist?
I'm going to reserve that for the very end, but yes.
All right, it may be. All right, well, here we go. All right, well, now that we got our whiskey tasting out of the way, let's move to our primary segment where I'm going to be talking about browsers. Do you use a computer? And if so, are you a 1-browser person or a 2-browser person? And if you use a phone, are you a 1-browser user or a 2-browser user? Let's start this next segment.
Welcome to Technology Insider. We get the information directly from the source.
All right, the history of my internet browsers and why I use now Brave as my go-to browser for privacy. Okay, we're continuing the segment we kind of did last week on search engines. Now we're going to be talking about internet browsers.
Your whole Bing thing?
Yeah, so I got a lot of feedback. I got a lot of feedback. People hate Bing rewards. I get it. You hate Bing rewards. Just go to Google, but I'm still using Bing rewards.
Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, but I had literally some people say, "Yeah, that was the most stupidest."
If there's something, I've ever heard. If there's sort of the idea that if you have to be paid to use it, it might not be worth it.
I still like it. Okay, all right, well, here we go. Now, do you know what everybody started with? If you were first on the internet, you probably started with
Jeeves.
No, well, Ask Jeeves was a search engine, but Netscape as your web browser. Wow, that was so cool. Netscape, it had a little N, and then all of a sudden it disappeared. And you could go to a web crawler and you could take a look at something, and about 25% of the time, that web crawler would actually return a result. Then I moved to Internet Explorer as I was working for a company called Microsoft, and it was the browser of choice. But then one day, I found Chrome, and I fell in love. It was fast, reliable, and didn't consume all the RAM available on my machine. Looking at Google Chrome like a relationship, it lasted a long time, and it was a good time. But things have changed. And it's become troublesome with all the plugins that I have, so I had to look for a second browser.
That's messed up.
Well, that's what happened.
I've used all, like I told you,
okay.
I used to use all 4 of them.
So I went out a chance to take a look at the market. Currently on the market, we have Edge, Microsoft Edge. They had Firefox, Mozilla. You had Opera and many other browsers. Mozilla. Yeah.
Mozilla?
Did I say Mozilla?
Montana?
Mozilla, Firefox,
Firefox,
Opera, and many others, especially Safari was one of the ones that I tried using too. But
Safari that's what I have on my iPhone.
Okay, so Firefox became my secondary browser for a bit. It was fast and reliable and didn't consume that much RAM either, but then it got bogged down. Also, that's what happens when you have freeware and somebody's developing it. So what have I gone to? I have gone to a new browser called Brave. Yes, I got Brave. Now I'm using Chrome.
Are you really doing?
I'm emphasizing this as a story. This is like a story. Yeah, hang on here.
Are you like, I'm awesome? I'm Brave.
I'm Brave. I'm using Chrome and Brave as my browsers. I love both browsers. Speed is an important factor, and I feel like Chrome is the best one on the market. But I've also found Brave, the browser that blocks my ads and earns me cryptocurrency. And I'm overjoyed at what I have to do when I do not have to see ads unless I want to get paid for them. So they have an ad blocker that comes on app built into the browser itself. It's a little lion. So they have a little shield with a lion, and it's over in the top right-hand corner.
That sort of goes with the whole Brave motif.
Yeah, you got a Brave lion type of deal. And essentially what it does is it will block spamware sites of internet browsing and any ads that pop up. And it'll tell me about those ads. Now, it's based on the Chromium browser functionality, which is essentially Chromium is the open source version of Google Chrome's browser. Mm-hmm. It's what Edge is built into too. So Edge is Microsoft essentially used Chromium, Chrome's browser, to try to make theirs better.
They're trying.
It has ad blocker, and it also blocks malware and trackers. In addition, at times you can activate Brave's protection shield, the icon in the top, and it'll essentially use a navigational bar, and it'll show you how many ads it actually
isn't
blocks.
Just like DuckDuckGo.
Well, it does. Let me talk about, speaking of DuckDuckGo, the Brave browser uses by default DuckDuckGo for its search algorithm. We've talked about DuckDuckGo before, not as a hero to the Bing search where you get paid for, but DuckDuckGo is a very private browser search that doesn't record any of the information. You can configure and sync Brave browser just like you do with Chrome, so you can have all of the icons available on 3 or 4 different machines itself and have it taken care of. Now, let me ask you, how many people do you think in the millions, what do you think the number one browser is in 2020?
I think it's probably Chrome.
2020 and 2021 stats both came on out. Chrome has over 300 million users. 300 million users. Safari has 515 million. IE has 120 million. Firefox has 37 million. And the list continues to go down. In 2022,
what's Edge?
When Microsoft Edge is 120.
Oh, it's just 2 million?
No, it's 120. It's 120 million. So it has all the Microsoft users and everybody that they have having to use the browser in that area. But Brave itself has moved on up to be the 5th most used browser in the last 4 months. So it is beginning to get some notoriety.
So it's going to get traction, and everybody's going to use it. Then they're going to keep developing it. Then they're going to have add-ons. Then they're going to bog down your system. Is that what's going to happen?
That's what's going to happen. But let me ask you, how many people? It was really interesting because we talked about this at our production meeting. I'm a technologist, so what we talked about in our meeting that most of us on the call had 2 browsers that they used, a primary and a secondary browser.
Right.
But do you know that 71% of the people in the world only use one browser on their PCs?
Yeah.
And
I don't have to be told that.
You knew that. We were kind of talking about that, right?
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little later.
And then phones, 86% of the people use only one browser on their phone. Whatever number comes with your phone browser, the first one you use is essentially ends up being your primary browser. Most people don't have 2.
Yeah.
So I am here to change that. I am here to make a coalition of the dual browser society. Okay.
Oh, are you serious?
So I want everybody to hashtag dual browser on TechTime Radio, and we are going to form a coalition of dual browser citizens.
I'm only a dual browser because sometimes things don't work on my primary browser, so I use a secondary browser.
We need to have 2 browsers. That needs to be where we're at itself. And I'm telling you that as a dual browser guy, you're going to love the Brave browser. So you need to go and take a look at that.
Why don't we like talk about the new one that's going to replace Brave?
Well, there I tried to find other ones that are out there. You got to be careful when you start downloading browsers because you'll have somebody made by somebody over in Russia or somebody made in someplace else, and all of a sudden you're like, this browser is really good. What the heck's happening to my files on my computer? What? So make sure you only go and search for the Brave browser. Make sure it comes up with the little icon, and only download the Brave browser.
Yeah, Google it on Bing, and then you can get it, and then
then you can get extra points. That's
right.
That's right. Okay. Well, guess what we're going to be talking about when we come on back? We have, of course, our This Week in Technology, and we still have our letters segment. So right now we're going to take a commercial break. You're listening to TechTime Radio with Mike Odie and, of course, myself, Nathan Mumm. We'll see you after this break.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, do you ever feel tired, have a headache, or maybe a little bit under dehydrated?
Yeah, I get told that I need to hydrate more often.
Guess what, Mike? I have a solution for you.
What is it?
Hydronique Hydration. The electrolyte power drink packets are available for you now. Started in the midst of the pandemic, the founder of Hydronique Hydration, a frontline healthcare worker, started developing constant headaches. Do you know that most powdered drinks on the market have tons of sugar and caffeine, especially those Rockstar and Gatorade substitutes?
Yeah, like you drink.
So I'm going to need to change.
So what did the founder do?
Well, that's why he created Hydronique Hydration. Sugar-free, keto-friendly, plant-based, antioxidant-rich electrolyte powdered packets for daily use, containing all the essential vitamins and minerals with a refreshing taste. Their product contains elderberry, which has immune-boosting properties for supporting during cold and flu season. Hydronique Hydration electrolyte powder packets can also fit in your bag or suitcase when traveling. Your busy days in 2022 can change. Do you want a sugar-free, keto-friendly vitamin drink to give you hydration boosts? If so, give Hydronique Hydration a try. You can visit the website at www.hydroniquehydration. It's www.hydronique hydration.com. That's the word hydration and unique mashed together. Or you can search for Hydronique Hydration on Amazon.com or on their own website at hydroniquehydration.com.
And now, let's look back at this week in technology.
All right. We're going all the way back to February 21st, 1858.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Edwin Holmes is an American inventor. Edwin T. Holmes made the first electric burglar alarm in the 1850s.
Yeah.
It consisted of a bell that rang if a door or window was open. He installed the first alarm on February 21st, 1858 in Boston, Massachusetts. The alarm was patented in 1853 by Reverend Augusta Rose Pope in 1819 to 1858 in Somerville, Massachusetts. Edwin Holmes acquired Pope's patent rights in 1857 for $1,500.
Yeah,
and manufactured the device in his factory in Boston, Massachusetts. What's that?
$1,500 in the 1850s was a lot of money.
That would have been a lot of money. He began to sell them in 1858. His son, Edwin Thomas Holmes, took over his father's company after his death. Initially, people were fearful of the skeptical about using electricity for alarms, and the business did not go well. Therefore, in 1859, in a search for a new and bigger market, Holmes moved his business to New York City, which was perceived as a place where all of the country's burglars made their homes. Thereby, in 1866, he installed 1,200 home alarms and began successfully marketing among business enterprises. By the 1877, he had established the first network of alarms monitored by a central station in New York and sent his son a copy of the system in Boston. His son, however, discovered that the network could use the pre-existing phone cables instead of laying its own. In this way, he quickly assembled a 700 alarm network, which his father then copied in New York City. In 1878, Holmes became the president of the newly established company, Bell Phone Company.
How about that?
Have you ever heard of them?
No.
They were one of the largest
Ma Bell.
Ma Bell is essentially the Bell Phone Company. Well, he sold his interest 2 years later for $100,000. That's probably a lot of money. He kept his rights to use the company phone lines for his alarm system.
Yeah. So this is cool because this actually occurred before the Civil War.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Before motorized cars.
So this was like state of the art. He was using telephone lines to essentially do that low voltage signal to alert when doors were open and when windows were open with sensors.
And you thought the HD thing was more interesting.
You know what? After doing research on this, I would agree this was very interesting. Well, that was our This Week in Technology. Have you ever wanted to catch some tech time history? With over 2 years of videos, you can visit TechTimeRadio.com to watch our older shows or sign up for our newsletters to subscribe to the best technical information or be part of the private Tech Timers Facebook group. If you go right now, you should sign up on the website because a little bit later today, we're going to be giving away our StoriCoffee event of the month by one of the email addresses that have signed up. So all you got to do is go to TechTimeRadio.com, click on that StoriCoffee prize and enter just your email. And we will then contact you by your email. So we don't want your name. We're not going to track your name, your IP address. We just want your email address. And then we read it essentially 3/4 of the way on the air here. And then we reach out to you for your chance for StoriCoffee. Don't you love StoriCoffee?
Yes, I do.
It is like the best coffee.
Yes.
Forget Starbucks. Starbucks is overburnt.
And if
piece of junk.
That's right.
StoriCoffee is the best I've ever
used. Did you just dog out?
I did.
Did
Starbucks.
you really just dog out
Starbucks?
Man.
Yeah, I did. That's all right.
And you know, if they're listening to our show, then they're going to use DuckDuckGo to put that stuff into
their browser. Anyway. So if they're a worker at Starbucks, go right now, load the Brave browser. You can then use your DuckDuckGo search to order your StoriCoffee, and make sure you do it on an Android phone so you won't be tracked.
That's right.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay, well, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we have a fan favorite, Letters Up. So see you right after this break.
Hey, Mike, have you ever heard of Blue Chew?
What are you going to ask me, Nathan?
Blue Chew essentially is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable form at a fraction of the cost.
Tell me more about that.
Did you know there are all kinds of reasons guys aren't able to perform? Age, medical condition, and stress. The chewable for BlueChew.com can help you be able to perform at your best. Blue Chew is an online prescription service, so no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. And it ships right to your door in a discreet package. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com. Consult with one of the licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. The best part? It's all done online. Blue Chew's licensed medical providers work with you to find the right ingredients and strength for your prescription. Don't like swallowing pills? No problem. Blue Chew tablets are chewable. Tablets are made in the USA, good old America, and prepared and shipped direct, so it's cheaper than any pharmacy. And here's a special deal for our listeners with the promo code TechTime to receive your first month free with the use of our promo code TechTime at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com. That's BlueChew.com. Promo code TechTime to receive your first month free, and we thank Blue Chew for being a sponsor.
Hello, my name is Arthur, and my life's work is connecting people with coffee. StoriCoffee is a small batch specialty coffee company that uses technology to connect people to each product resource, which allows farmers to unlock their economic freedom. Try our Medium Roast Founder Series coffee, which is an exotic bourbon variety that is smooth, fresh, and elegant at StoriCoffee.com. That's STORI coffee.com. Today you can get your first bag free when you subscribe at StoriCoffee.com with code TechTime. That's STORI coffee.com.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's up?
Would you like to buy a bigger home? How about retire earlier than you thought? Pay your children's education, make a big purchase, or any other big financial decisions?
Isn't everybody?
I think everybody does. And guess what? Fortunate for you, you can go to Fortunately.io. Again, that's Fortunately.io. They will help you maximize your life. Their founders are serial entrepreneurs with degrees in economics, math, computer science, business that come from Google, Apple, and other top Silicon Valley companies. The investors included are CPAs, CFPs, MBAs, PhDs, and a bunch of other combinations of letters you probably never even heard of. We humbly believe Fortunately will help you make it simpler. Make sure you visit Fortunately.io/TechTime. Again, that's Fortunately.io/TechTime.
Here's a couple of things that you might want to know. The tool is completely free to you. You enter in your basic details, your life goals, like if you want to buy a first or second home, save to send your kids to college, or make that big purchase. Once you enter your details, we tell you how much you need to set aside and in what accounts, like a brokerage or a 401k or Roth, etc. We then tell you what you need to do today and the steps to take in the future to make the most of your money while hitting your life goals. All you need to do is go to Fortunately.io/TechTime.
Life happens, but not randomly. Make sure you look to Fortunately betterhelp.io/TechTime to help you run the numbers so you can save money and live your best life with confidence.
All right. Welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm, your host and technology expert, here with our human solutions consultant, or as I call him, my lie to me expert, Mike Gourdet. How was that whiskey during the break? Because we are tasting the red-blooded American bourbon whiskey.
I stopped drinking it.
No, you can't do that. That's against the rules. Let me just tell you what Mark Mumbles said, okay?
Yeah, let's hear what Mark Mumbles.
Mark's Mumbles says, behind the scenes, who cares? As it's another Total Wine's exclusive gimmick, trying to get people to buy junk based on a flashy label with a gimmicky name. For $20, there's a plethora and much better options. One should not even take this if offered for free. His conclusion.
That's true.
Reviews on Total Wine can say it better than he can himself. And so he cut and pasted some comments from Total Wines.
Let's hear the best one.
An aftermath of a still made from a Ford radiator during the Prohibition. Tastes like gasoline. This is the worst whiskey I've ever tried. I think the Wells and Las Vegas clubs have better whiskey. Tasted like wood glue with a little bit of alcohol. That guy had a lot of time.
That one I think sums it up.
All right. Well, breaking news. On February 14th, Google released an emergency security update to its 3.2 billion Chrome web users. The update, version 98.0.4758.102 of Chrome, fixes 8 security vulnerabilities. One of these zero-day vulnerabilities the attackers have already utilized. Attackers can use the vulnerability to specifically take control and run code on your computer. In the response, Google encouraged users to update their browsers as soon as possible. You can find instructions on how to do that on clicking on your Google Chrome. Now, let me ask you a question. In the top right-hand corner, have you ever seen the color green, orange, or red on your Google Chrome?
Yeah, I just saw that the other day.
All right.
That update. So
all right. So what do you think a green means?
That it's good to update?
Well, green means that the update was released less than 2 days ago.
Well, I had a green tag. So.
Okay, so that's good. So you updated. Guess what happens when you see an orange?
It's been a few days.
The update was released about 4 days ago.
Okay.
And what happens if you see a red little icon over there that says update?
You're effed.
That's right. An update was released at least a week ago, and somebody else is running your computer. So make sure you update your Google Chrome as a security announcement. All right. Now, speaking of announcements, we are getting ready to start our next segment, and it's one of our favorites. Here we go. Let's start it now.
Letters, we get letters. We get back and back the letters. Oh, letters, we get letters. And the letters all have songs.
All right, on letters, this segment starts with informative emails that I've received during the week. This includes scams, phishing emails, and all-out mistruths disguised as legitimate emails in our segment. All right, I got up first right here. I got a MetaMask. Now, I use MetaMask as a wallet for my cryptocurrency, one of the software wallets that I use. This is from MetaMask at webinarinfo@webinarjam.net. So probably
not MetaMask?
No, it's not really MetaMask. And the MetaMask picture here is pretty big. It's a little blurry. I don't understand if you're sending these spam phishing emails, can't you just go and get a nice picture? Why is it that you have to have the crappiest picture to send when you open an email? I figured they'd figure that out by now.
No,
they haven't.
Because
they're not.
They don't need to.
They don't need to because people still click on it?
That's right.
All right. Well, this said essentially your wallet may be suspended. ID 731106. Regulations have been done on 21/02/2022 that says your financial services of this company are required for you to log in and change your password. Please click here. And if you click here, you type in your username and password, then essentially it comes back and says that was an incorrect password. Please type it in again. By the second time you type it in, guess what happens?
What?
It says, congratulations, you are secure. And now it gives them the access time so they can try to actually log into your real wallet and steal your cryptocurrency.
So that was a password phishing.
It was a password phishing. All right. You have a nice one there?
I have a hefty one.
You got a hefty one?
Yeah. I've got like 4 pages of stuff here.
Oh, that was an interesting one, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's from Chase Online, LTD.
Oh, okay.
But there's a lot of numbers behind it. But here's the kicker.
Yeah.
The email address is a Gmail address.
Oh, it's that Gmail address. I don't think Chase is probably using a Gmail address to send
it says,
information.
Yeah, it's mate Heo Theo 100 plus a bunch of string letters.
Okay.
And numbers. Set February the 20th to you. Receive exclusive items in exchange for your thoughts.
Oh.
Chase, answer, and win $90 in rewards.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Get started now. Did you?
Well, I didn't. You know what happened? As I started printing out this thing, and guess what happened?
Well,
I started printing one page. Then it went to a second page.
Then it went to a second page.
A third page, a fourth. And then by like 5 pages into it, I had to stop the printer. So clearly this person.
Somebody didn't cut and paste properly.
They did not. So they just to send all of their other scam emails on top of this email so I can actually click on a gazillion and a half different links if I wanted to.
Yeah, look at all these. Look at the Fierce Digital Pharma, Fierce Biotech Summit, Fierce MedTech Summit. Yeah, look at that.
All of those are fake.
All those are fake. There's some featured stories here, too.
There's some featured stuff I want reading?
I guess if you need to sit down and read some stuff while you're clicking on these links that you're never supposed to click on, there you go.
There you go. So that is a cheap version of a phishing attempt because it wasn't even done very well. All right, my next one I have here is Get McAfee New Year Congratulations at AW.com. And then it's at SHLD plus a bunch of letters and things at Gmail. Your McAfee subscription has expired. I've never had McAfee. I hate McAfee. I know. I think it's like the worst.
I think that's hilarious.
So I got this. I could renew now. A big picture here. Act now to keep your computer protected. 1 year subscription includes antivirus security. Protect now, 60% off. So I clicked on the link. They wanted me to pay $49 for this junk. So even if this is a scam, it's still not even worth $49. If I bought the real product, it wouldn't be worth that amount, let alone the scam product.
Was it a scam or was it the real product?
No, it was a scam product. It was a scam product. It was owned by obisoftware.com that they wanted me to send a PayPal extension to send $49 to them.
Awesome.
All right. You're up next. Because this is your last one because mine piggybacks on yours on this one.
Okay. So this is from T-Mobile.
From T-Mobile.
Contact at softage.be.
Oh, that doesn't seem right.
Again, not the right
email address.
Okay.
I think T-Mobile has their own T-Mobile.com.
I think so.
So
this was sent Monday, February the 21st, which was yesterday.
Okay.
At 5 o'clock.
All right.
With the subject line confirmation 78245.
Kevin 78245. Okay.
That's right. T-Mobile Black Friday deals.
Black Friday deals.
Dated November 26, 2021.
Oh no, they sent me the wrong thing. I got a Black Friday deal for last year.
Congratulations. Please tell us about your T-Mobile experiences.
Apply today. Available today, huh?
Available today. Where's there a link?
There was a link that I could click on.
I
didn't know. Because if you're sending me something for a Black Friday deal 3 months ago with a T-Mobile scam, if I clicked on that, then I deserve to have any ill will.
I think this is funny because at the very bottom, there's a little thing that said America Cars brand.
Yeah.
And it gives an address in Tucson, Old Spanish Trail, which I know because I'm from Arizona.
Okay.
If you don't want to receive this type of message, you can unsubscribe.
Well, guess what? 5 minutes later, I received a second attempt for Nathan Mumm from T-Mobile.
Oh, look at that.
From T-Mobile at contactsocietydsgrd.org. Confirmation. Now, this is like a second attempt. So they must have tried to send me my Black Friday deal and I didn't click on it. So congratulations. You've been selected to get an exclusive reward with a big T-Mobile sign there. To qualify for the special offer, simply complete our 30-second marketing survey. Click here to start.
Isn't that what the very first one was all about?
You know what it does? But this is coming from California. So it's not coming from Arizona. So this is a different place. Yeah, this is a different one. All right. Well, we're going to wrap up. She is. She's saying we got to stay on track. We are going to end our letter segment. What do we learn from the letter segment?
Check the email that they're sending it from. Always check the email that they're sending it from. If it doesn't match,
don't do it.
And just don't click on links. Just don't do it.
All right. Well, that ends our segment. When we return, we're going to have Mike's Mesmerizing Moment brought to us by StoriCoffee and Pick of the Day. We'll see you right after the break.
How to See a Man About a Dog. It combines darkly comic short stories, powerful poems, and pulp fiction prose to create a heartbreaking and hilarious journey readers will not soon forget. Read How to See a Man About a Dog, collected writings, for free with Kindle Unlimited. Ebook available on Kindle, print copies available on Amazon The Bookpository, and more.
This is Mike's Mesmerizing Moment, presented by StoriCoffee. Visit StoriCoffee.com.
As soon as I get around the taste of that whiskey, I'll
You did a quick shot there in the commercial.
Oh.
All right, your mesmerizing moment is?
Yeah, well, you were talking about that thing earlier with two browsers and how
Yep.
only people use one.
Yep.
71% use one browser.
That's correct.
That shouldn't be a surprise at all.
Why is that?
Because that's our human nature. That's our default setting. Our default setting is to go to the simplest route. We're
Okay.
kind of like water that way. We want the simplest thing at the quickest pace.
Okay.
Right? So when you have all these offerings for the browser of choice, and as a tech person, even people that aren't necessarily tech like me, I use more than one browser.
Yep.
Because I know how complicated things are.
Correct.
Which is the problem, because the whole solution to technology is supposed to be making our life simpler. And it really is not when you consider all these things that we all have to do, right? You have to use, now you're telling us we have to use this browser over that browser. We have to use this two browsers instead of one browser.
Yep.
We have to have double
you have two phones, right? You have two phones.
You got two phones. I got two phones.
I got two phones.
Yeah, you have to use two-step verification now.
Yep.
You have to change your password. Your password has to be 16 alphanumeric letters and special characters. So
You remember,
it
all of
just
this was
keeps-
so that we'd have more personal enjoyment of life. That's why the cell phone was created and these computers.
Yeah, but
so we could then
it's
escape
complicating
to things and not have to worry about
and
technology.
that's why people notoriously default to things like, this is my password,
Password 123.
welcome 123 or
Yep.
whatever.
Yep.
Because our brains work like that. So technology in many ways contravenes what our brains are supposed to be doing.
All right. Well, that makes sense. That's a good mesmerizing moment.
Yeah.
So how do we solve that? You have 4 browsers instead of 2.
We figure out how to stop all this crap from happening from all these hackers, and then make it one thing for everybody that works.
Okay, that sounds like a good idea. StoriCoffee. Pick a number between 1 and 1100.
1100.
Oh, the brand newest person that just signed
Or
up.
how about
KENNA_GRA. There's 3 letters I won't say, at yahoo.com. Congratulations. You just won yourself a StoriCoffee. Make sure you go
it's
to
good coffee.
TechTimeRadio.com and sign up to win coffee each and every month. All right, now we're going to move on to our pick of the day.
And now our pick of the day for our whiskey tastings. Let's see what bubbles to the top.
All right, what bubbles to the top for you, buddy?
Vomit.
We got the red-blooded 4-year American bourbon whiskey. All right, 80 proof, $19. Does it receive a Mike Gourdet thumbs up?
This receives a Mike Gourdet absolutely no.
No. So is that
No.
thumbs down?
That is 4 thumbs down.
No, you only get 1 thumb down. So 1 thumb down. Mr. Mumm is going to pick it also. The red-blooded 4-year American bourbon whiskey tastes like a 4-year-old's diaper. It is nasty.
Yeah,
It's a thumbs down also.
This is the nastiest stuff I've ever tasted.
All right. So, okay. So there goes for your pick of the day.
So, yeah, thanks a lot, red-blooded American bourbon whiskey. No.
Yeah. Mine's
It's
more.
it's worse than Kentucky's worst.
It may be the worst that
And
we've ever
Canadian
had. in the
Mist and all the other crap that we drink.
That's right. All right. Well, we are just about running out of time. What we got through and talked about browser wars as a item to remember.
Browser wars.
Right. We talked about to have 2 browsers instead of 1. Always have that backup browser ready to go, especially if you can't get to a website and you need something to be taken care of. We made sure that you update your Google Chrome. We say that if you want
somebody can't hijack your computer,
that's right. So
and be sure to do 2-step verification on everything.
on everything, so you can type in
I
that
have
password.
2-step verification on my refrigerator.
You can't get in. Does it say, "Are you sure you want that
Yeah.
drink?"
It's called a padlock.
That's you got a padlock. Yeah, I got what you got. All right, well, we're gonna get ready to head out for the day. Any other inspirational news that you want to make sure you let our listeners know?
What?
Well, any other inspirational news?
I'm not inspiring.
Well, okay. Well, I got
what
something.
inspirational news do you want to plug?
Well, let me just tell you, from all of us at TechTime Radio, we always thank you for listening. I was honored to be the host of today's show, and I love working with you, Mike, with our team, Odie behind the
That's not
board.
inspiring.
And remember, the science of tomorrow starts
No.
with the technology of today.
No.
Well, yes, it does. The science of tomorrow starts with the technology of today.
That's true.
Okay, that is my
It's just
saying.
complicated.
Well, no, that's those are all words I can pronounce. All right. I'm Nathan Mumm. We got Mike Day here. You guys, thank you very much for joining us. We will see you next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Or Wednesday, or Thursday, or Friday, or Saturday, whichever show you're getting us on.
Whatever.
You'll get us
That's
there.
right.
All right. Talk to you guys. Take care, and we'll see you.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us on TechTime Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/techtimeradio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at TechTime Radio, remember, Mumm's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.